Chris Davis, and my friend Greg Walls has invited me to Beyond the Noise today so that I can interview a very special person, Greg Walls.
I appreciate
And I'm so excited to be your guest again, but also honored to be the one that's conducting an interview uh, to kind of pick your brain and your bright mind.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Chris.
Uh,
Wouldn't have it any other way.
for those of you guys that don't know my friend Greg Walls, he is the owner of Performance Experience and a 16-year master trainer in the health and fitness and wellness space, also specializing in athletic performance. And he's trained thousands of people over these 16 years, from his high school student athletes
Yep.
to his young adults trying to find their way
Yep.
in health and fitness, and our middle-aged people like me trying to find their way back into health and fitness, and helping people to even overcome some ailments and failing health to use fitness and exercise to build stronger bodies so that they can be stronger for life and not just, to fit in their skinny jeans. So Greg does it all.
Sometimes. Yeah.
So, Greg, let's get started today. For everybody that doesn't know you, like I know you, or your personal friends or family members, let's kind of just start with like your Spider-Man origin story. You've been doing
Yeah.
health and fitness for 16 years professionally,
Yeah.
and I know something led you here. I think I have an idea, but tell the people how you got passionate. Let's start with as a young boy, how you
Okay.
got started passionate about going into this industry.
Okay. Yeah. I appreciate that question, and where it allows me to bypass, all the where you from and all the other good stuff. I was a pretty good athlete. I was never the best athlete on the team, but I was a pretty good athlete. I mean, played some really, really good players, and in 1996, graduated high school in 1997. 1996, I had the opportunity to play in the playoffs. We were, I think, 4A in 96. Shout out to Dodd Lee, who was my coach at the time.
And we're talking about football.
Yeah, talking about football. And it was my senior year. It was the last game that I was playing. We played Lucedale, Mississippi, or George County. We played them once in the regular season, and then we played them once in the playoffs. And they beat us in the playoffs. And that was, of course, the last game of the year. You don't really know where your career is going. I was being recruited by some schools, but I hadn't received any offers. And their coach, Coach Buckley, shout out to Coach Buckley, who was the coach there and ended up being the coach at USM. The only words he said to me, Chris, was, "Hey, son, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get a chance to play somewhere." That was it. That was the end of the game. We take our shoulder pads, we go home. A few weeks later, I get a phone call from Rick Villarreal, who at the time was the director of football operations at TCU. Now, I'm from Picayune, Mississippi. It's 10,000 people in Picayune, Mississippi. As a matter of fact, in the DFW, before I tell you how I got there, to fast forward, my junior and senior year, I was the only non-Texas starter on the team. So out of the 22 on the field, I was the only one not from Texas. So they didn't recruit in Texas. And so Rick called and said, "Hey, can I speak to Greg Walls?" And this was before caller ID, so you kind of had to pick up no matter who was calling. And I was
Tell
like,
your age.
"Yeah, I know, right?" I was like, "Yeah, this is Greg. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Listen, I was told by Coach Buckley that we need to come see you. We need to recruit you. Have you ever heard of TCU?" I was like, "No, I've never heard of TCU." He said, "Well, I'll tell you what, we got SMU, our big rival, coming up on Thursday night. We want you to watch." I said, "Okay, Coach, I'll take a look." He called me the Friday after the Thursday that they played SMU. And he said, "Hey, well, Greg, what did you think?" I said, "Well, Coach, you guys need some help, man. Y'all ain't very good." And he was like, "That's right. That's why we called you." And that was the beginning of my opportunity to actually be sitting here with you. So for me, he gave me something that nobody else could give me, not because they didn't want to or because they thought I didn't deserve it. they didn't know how to go about it. And this man didn't know me from Adam. But he saw enough to say, hey, let's give this little black country boy a chance. So I've been believing since I was in high school that nobody can earn an opportunity. You earn the chance to be good when you're given an opportunity, but people give you opportunity. He didn't have to do that. So that fast forward to today, every time somebody asks me to help, if I know how to help, especially in this field, I won't give them that opportunity. Somebody gave it to me and didn't have to. So that's part of the reason why.
Yeah. Do you feel that, like, that's your responsibility?
Yes.
Kind of like, to whom much is given. How does the quote go?
Much is required.
Well,
Much is required.
I do feel like it's a responsibility. And honestly, that kind of bothers me because I have to ask myself sometimes, is it ego or do I want to make them feel a certain way for my own satisfaction? But I realize that it's, you know how like you just kind of know what you're supposed to do. It's that thing that you just do because that's what you do, and you can do a lot of stuff. But you know what you love, not who you love, but you know what you love because it actually loves you back. Like that feeling that you're looking for. That's honestly why I do it. It's a lot of things that I get from it that have nothing to do with the work or the exercise. So for me, it's almost like I can do a bunch of stuff and be successful at it, but I'd be a horrible employee. I'd be the most successful, terrible employee you can find. So that's why I do it.
At what age did you feel like this is something that you wanted to do?
When I was grown. It's crazy, ain't it? So I only wanted to play ball whenever I was younger because it's going to sound weird because I knew like that whole fallback thing I didn't really worry about because I knew I could do other things. So it was like if ball don't work out, I could do other things. I didn't really have other things to do. I just knew I was kind of smart, so I could do other things.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I'd figure it out. But I didn't really see myself doing this until I was like, I don't know, 26 or 27. And part of it was because I knew what I knew, and I didn't mind passing it on because I could kind of see myself in the work that kids would do. So I would have a feeling of probably too much responsibility for their success. But then I realized real quick that the more I can know, the more questions people will ask me. So I kind of fell in love with the process of learning just so I can tell people stuff. So it ended up being almost like I was not necessarily a know-it-all because nobody likes a know-it-all. I was a know-a-lot. So I was just waiting on people to give me a chance to say something so I can tell them a lot.
Prove yourself.
So, yeah.
What? Tell me about a moment that happened, whether it was with another athlete or with a random stranger, where that was clicking to you, like, this is the right fit. I helped this person. I'm feeling what you said. You fell in love with it. It fell in love with you. Tell me about a moment where you were feeling that.
It had nothing to do with a client. Your husband actually had a lot to do with that.
Oh.
It's kind of crazy. So I worked.
Don't tell me nothing weird, Greg.
No. But I worked with Sam and Dee
And my husband Sam.
Yes, and Dee was his business partner I think it was 2007 or something like 2007. And then I left, and then when I came back, when I left, there was about 25 people in a boot camp that they gave me, like they gave me a chance, and people, they loved it. Like I did what they asked me to do. I had a ball. Like I actually loved it, but I had to go do something different for a little
So
bit.
you were training for a period of time, a very solid group.
Very solid
25
group.
people.
And they were consistent.
Yes.
I'm talking about Chris. When I say consistent, 21
every day, showing up to see you.
Showing up. You know, and everything I was learning from I was biting. I'm talking about if I was a rapper, they would have crushed me. Like I would take the emails that Sam and D was writing, mostly Sam, because I was on that side. Like he was working closest with me, and I would literally take his signature off the bottom and put my signature on the bottom until I learned, what the format was. But I left, and then I was working in gas and oil, and then we got let go. And I made 3 phone calls. I called my mama, of course.
Wait, hold on just a second, if you don't mind. Well,
Okay.
hold there.
Okay.
You're about to call your mom.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to leave? Because you said everything
Yeah.
was clicking, everything was fitting. So tell me why you left.
I had to make some more money because I had some legal situations I had to pay for.
Okay, so but
yeah.
a lot of us can identify with that, chasing the dollar.
And I did not want to do it right. I wasn't passionate about it. As a matter of fact, I used to talk about if I can make enough money in gas and oil, I'm gonna take the gas and oil, flip it into a gym or whatever. And,
Gotcha.
and I was like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna see if Sam will work with me. Like that was what we wanted to do. Gas and oil didn't work out, and I knew what I could do, but I wanted to be respectful. Like I didn't want to just show up and then just try to deal with things, but at the same time, I had to be fair. So I just called Sam, and he gave me a job literally when no job existed, and I was like, yeah, that didn't even bother me. It was 1 client and 2 trainers. I didn't go out there think I need to beat him out or I gotta prove this. I was like,
So it's like going out on a double date. There's
one
other
chick,
girl.
one chick and 2 dudes, yeah.
Okay, got it.
But I wasn't trying to impress.
Got it.
If that makes any sense. It wasn't like I was trying to beat him out. It was like my motto was real simple. If she shows up every day, we're putting that work in. Period. It didn't even matter like 1 or 101.
Yes.
They got everything from me, and that helped me realize that like this is really. I don't have a problem waking up at 4, waiting on 5:30. And you can ask anybody online right now that's ever done boot camp with me. I have never, ever once been late in 12 years. Never once late for a boot camp session. I've helped push people out of the road on the way to boot camp. I've had to help people jumpstart cars. I've had to move cones out of the way to be on time. I wasn't doing it to be nervous or worry about Sam firing me. It just felt like I was supposed to do that because all I could think was these people get up at 5 in the morning to hear me yell and scream and blow whistles and all these other things. The least I can do is be ready. Right. That's when I knew it wasn't really the success of 1 or 2. It was the feeling that I got something I can actually give to these people. So let's just give it away and see if I can make money doing it.
And they want it.
Yeah, they wanted it. Yeah, So, and then after I got older, I realized that it's not the exercise. It's not how hard I can make the workout. It's not how cool I can make the exercises. It's a feeling of instilling a feeling of accomplishment. I'm 41. And if somebody says, man, I can show you how to dunk such and such and such, we're going to do it because I need that feeling of accomplishment. He's going to do it because he's going to get paid and he'll be a part of the accomplishment. That's the way I look at it, I guess.
So I really like what you said that, especially in this 2-on-1, you got this opportunity where it's like, okay, we'll give you a shot, but you're going to be one of 2 trainers, and you guys only have 1 person in this brand new class. So I'm guessing it's like which Outlast?
No.
No?
What happened was this. So we were going to be out there because I don't, Sam don't like firing nobody. That's like super hard for him to do. But because I knew that, that's why I called him. So I wasn't worried about that.
Sam doesn't like saying the words you're fired.
Yeah,
because he has his
he
own
tries
tactics.
to get you out of there, and you walk out of there like, did I miss something? Am I supposed to come back Monday? Like,
did I just quit?
But I don't know if I did. But I went to Sam and D came to me and said, hey, listen, we'll let you have the location because we had to pay for locations, but you can't use the likeness or the name or the brand. I had no problem with that because he said, but we'll help you, but we're not going to use Adventure Boot Camp to help you. Now,
And this is the 2-on-1 situation.
this would, yeah.
Okay.
So then I said, what happens when I grow it to 12? And they was like, all right, we'll talk about it. I said, and in my mind, I was like, give me 6 weeks. Now, this was before any social media. This was before any DocuSign. Like, I literally I went on AOL.com, which took 45 minutes before I could find 2 articles about, like, just writing standard stuff for contracts, hoping not to get sued. Stayed up all night. I'm not making it. Stayed up all night one night looking for a personal training cert that would cover me just in case somebody got hurt. When I went super early one morning so I could meet the assistant principal to make sure they didn't kick me off of the property, and 7 weeks later we were up to 18.
But I love what you say. It's the lesson of, and we'll talk about this later, what's the difference between what you do and how you do it
Right.
versus the gym up the street or the other trainer,
Right.
right? We'll talk
Right.
about that later. But
Okay.
one big difference is, right, you show up whether you have an audience of 1 or an audience of 100. It doesn't
Absolutely.
matter if it's Sheila that lives,
Absolutely.
down the street in, Burleson, or a big name celebrity client. It sounds like you're showing up no matter the status, no matter the number, and you're showing up the same way.
Right. When I show up,
I love that.
And anybody, Gracie, if they have any, like anybody who's ever trained with me, if you're gonna get me, it doesn't matter what's going on outside of that, because what people need to realize, Chris, I probably love that hour more than they do.
Real. I
You see what I'm saying?
feel
Like,
that.
I know you know what I mean. Like,
feel that.
you ever like put together a good game, and you knew not a new game, and not like you was like, I'm 8 for 8 on this game, and I need 14 people to show up. So you start hitting them on Sunday. Hey, next Friday I need you to be there, and then you tell them on Monday. Hey, not because it's that you know how they're gonna feel when they walk out of there, and you know that they stop worrying about Thursday and Saturday and that headache and is it payday, and the whole hour you see them turn into 16-year-olds and they get real competitive, or you see them try things that they have been hiding from you the whole time. It doesn't matter how many are out there. It doesn't matter what is happening with me. That hour doesn't belong to me. So I can be as free as humanly possible in that hour, because my only responsibility is what they ask for properly. That's it.
And side note, as a trainer who's really good at training and as professional as you are, for someone that truly enjoys it, I like what you said before, because it really is true. That hour is just as fulfilling for you, if not more, because it's not necessarily a mindless, but you completely get out of yourself. Because you are
you don't matter.
pouring
Yep.
into
Yep.
your client.
Where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
And then
only a really good trainer
Yeah.
would get that.
And I'm gonna say this, and I don't care what instructors are listening, or
Say it.
you can
Put
take
it out there.
Yeah, you can take it as constructive criticism, or you can call me later and we can box. It don't really matter to me. But everybody knows when you're not into the work. Like, if your phone feels more important than the instructor, you need to do something different. If the music is more important, then you need to do something different. If somebody else keeps distracting you and you're taking away from them to give to somebody that's not giving back, you need to do something different. If you're doing more telling,
Let me ask you this: are you talking to
then the trainer.
the trainer?
The trainer
The
needs to do
professional
something
trainer.
different.
Okay.
If you're telling more than asking, you're in the wrong profession. These are facts. And if you think that the exercise is the most important, you need to start over. Most people, they justify how good they think they are on the amount of exercises they know how to tell people how to do. I don't live in that space.
So by you getting out of that headspace and having that passion for what you're doing, that must rub off on your clients.
Yes, but part of it is because I want them to know what I know.
Right.
Like, it's not do what I tell you to do. It's, hey, this is what we're doing today, and this is where you were, and this is why we're doing it, because you can do these things. Now, think about all of those elements in a 5-minute situation. So now, the next thing, no matter what it is, because you know you can do these other things, you're going to try it. And you don't feel embarrassed about trying it, because I'm going to make sure you know you're going to screw it up, no matter how old you are.
And I think it's important to say what you're just saying, Ms. P, that it must rub off on your client how
Yeah.
fully engaged you are. Because it's not just, unfortunately, too many people I know have had a trainer that was messing with their cell phone while they were being trained, which makes me sick and angry all at the same time. But I think also, Ms. P, is when your trainer is fully, as I said before, pouring into you, which is why Greg said it's a better hour for him, probably. You feel connected
Yes.
the entire time. You feel connected the entire time. You never lose that connection.
And that's an energy that
It
you're
is.
passing off on someone, and it for me that would make me more open, and it would make me have a passion and say, you know what, he is really enjoying this. What is it? And it'll take me out of my headspace and think, I need to see what he's doing and relax and let go, because a lot of times you get into it. I know for me. And I'm thinking about, okay, I got this bill due. What did I not pay?
Right.
Where am I supposed to go
There
after
you go.
this?
That's what I mean.
But
This is
it's
your hour.
letting go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would take me in that same headspace of just letting everything go and enjoying the moment.
You know who does a good job paying attention to clients? My team. And I'm not just saying it. Like, I've watched them work, and I've seen them where the only person in the room is the person that they're working with, no matter how many people are in the room. I like to put on a show. I'm loud. I dance. I make sayings to help people understand what I like. I put on a show, not for other people to see, but I need you to understand the show.
And you make yourself vulnerable.
Yes.
Yes.
But my vulnerability comes in my confidence, not in what I don't know.
No, not
You know what I
but
mean?
that also, it's just for me. Like, I'm a teacher. I make myself vulnerable in front of my students.
Yeah.
So that they feel comfortable and saying, well, if he can do this, I can do it too.
Oh, I've changed that. Like, I have done this, and if I haven't, somebody else has done it. So that means if somebody has done it and you're somebody, you can get it done.
Right.
Like, getting people to believe they can do something that you know they can do is harder than getting people to believe something both of y'all know they can't do.
Right.
Like, really think about that, because
Say it again.
getting people to believe that, getting you to believe based on what I actually know, that, okay, this is where she is, this is how much time we have, this is the ability she has, this is how she built, this is what you can do.
Right.
It's harder for you to believe that than if I threw a lofty goal with a bunch of fallacies and energy behind it. You'll believe that.
Yeah.
Like, you'll believe you'll win the lotto before you believe that you can go on ESPN and win a lot of money fishing if I taught you how to fish.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the responsibility of the consistency is difficult. But not for me, because I'm supposed to know, so I try to stay consistent.
Right.
So my goal is getting people to believe the thing that nobody can talk them out of. Like, if I do this, I'll get this. Not, I hope I can get this.
Right.
Well, I think this is not the same thing, but it's a comparison. Is a lot of people overestimate what they can do in a week or a month, but they underestimate what they can accomplish in 6 months. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think your latter is right. I think the former is without a real barometer or the belief of an average standard, and somebody goes lose 40 pounds in 8 weeks,
Right.
that explosion sounds believable because they feel like they put on 40 pounds in 6 weeks, but actually took 6 years.
Yes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But
yeah.
it's right now in your face.
Right.
Right.
It's almost like a football game. So I played football my whole life, but I started understanding the different pressures that both sides were going through when I played GA and coached at the few levels. Because most people only see the end result.
Right.
More people only see the product for 3 hours.
Right.
Nobody pays attention to the work for those 100 hours in those 4 days.
Totally.
So it's easy to say he shouldn't get paid that much, or why are they running that? And when you hear people who understand the game go, why aren't they running the ball? Because we don't know the plays that they worked on, but we know they worked on run plays on Tuesday and 7 on 9. So that's how it is here. What drives me is I know clients respect me. I know some peers respect the profession. But I think what we do is so important is life and death to human beings is what I actually believe.
Well, let's pull it back a little
Okay.
bit and get into that. So because you were successful working for someone
Yeah.
in the fitness space.
Yeah, I was.
And you're doing well. What made you jump and take the leap of starting your own company? And what made you think you could be any different from the 50 box gyms, the thousands of personal trainers, making sometimes minimum wage?
Yeah.
What made you think that you were going to be successful and that you had something special and different to offer?
You want the truth?
Yeah. The cold, honest truth.
I did not know what I did not know. That's part 2. Part 1 was I knew exactly what I knew. I knew that people liked what I had because they were paying for it, and they were paying a premium price. I knew what they were going to get. I knew if it's one human on the planet that's not going to fire me, it's me. And I knew that nobody can tell me no about things I know the answer of yes. And the rest, I would figure out along the way. Had I known what I know now, we would not be having this conversation.
Well,
I never would have tried it.
I think that's very interesting because I think sometimes if you know too much about something,
You ain't doing it.
it's harder. It's more scary because you know all the stuff that's out there, the
And-
obstacles that's in your way.
And you don't give enough credit to what you actually know.
Right.
You think what you don't know will outweigh. You kind of forget that I had to learn that. How much is it going to cost me in time and money or energy to learn this? But the problem is you don't know what you need to learn in a space like this until it's too late to know that you should have learned it. So you gotta, it's not about, ladies and gentlemen, for me, it's not about drive and push and proving people wrong and wanting to. I don't care what a lot of people feel about how I do what I do. For me, I know how to do something. And if I don't give it away, what can I get?
Say that last part again.
I know, I have something. That's what, I have something, right? I have something that other people don't have.
Okay, gotcha.
I have to give. Now, give ain't free.
Right.
But if I don't give it away, what can I get in return? Like, if I don't help somebody push a car out of the road, I do it because I want somebody to help me push my car out of the road.
So you're thinking of it as it's a boomerang effect. What you put out, boomerangs back to you.
Reciprocity.
Yes.
And not in a manner of being rude or like, because I don't know if I'm hurting people's feelings sometimes, and I don't know
Right.
if I'm being an a-hole sometimes. I really don't, and I'm not intentionally doing some of those things, but in my profession, I'm very intentional. Chris, you work with me, and when I screw stuff up, I'm intentionally trying to get it right, not to get fussed at, not for It's because I feel if I say I know something, I have to know it. And to not understand something, it eats it. It does something to me. It really does. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but it makes me feel less than what my output can actually be.
And one thing I could say about you, Greg, because I've worked with you in a number of different capacities, whether it's in our fitness company or in our event production, and just personally seeing you interact on a personal one-on-one with me, or watching you interact with other people one-on-one, is that you yourself, and I see you teach this in your team members too, you really want people to know when you have an interaction with them that you are valuing them
Yes.
and their time. Like sometimes when Greg will say something to me, I'll be like, are you BSing me, you know? Because he'd be like, hey, how are you doing?
And I mean, I ain't
Doing
seen you
good?
in a while. How are
It's
you?
over the top.
Yeah, but he means it.
Yeah.
And he's not that way just with me.
Right.
I see
right.
him interact. You know, I've seen Greg walk in a room. He does not know that I'm there. And I see him interact with a number of different people like that. And I know that he would do that from the celebrity client to the janitor. He would do the same thing. Greg has probably met my mom once or twice, probably not shared more than 10 or 20 seconds, but I promise you, if he saw her, he'd be like, hey!
You better not say my name.
Yeah, he wants you to feel
Safe.
valued in your time, and he wants you to know that he values your time and he values you. He wants you to know he's giving of himself, and I think that's why he's like that. I want to make no question about it that I value you right now, and I love that and I respect it, because I'm kind of like more like timid, you know what I mean?
You know what, Bobby?
And that might come off cool
Yeah.
to people, like.
The thing in this business that bothers me the most, honestly, is people not informing you about keeping or ending an appointment. Like, that bothers me more than anything else. I would rather you come in for 5 hours telling me you're going to do something and not do it than schedule me to see you and you not tell me you're not going to show up.
Right.
Because you instantly made yourself important to me when you gave me your info.
Right.
Like, think about what I'm saying. Like, you asked me for something.
Right.
At least tell me no, you don't want it from me.
Right.
And I would rather that, because my motto is simple. And if Jackie Taylor is on the line, if Sherry Peace is on the line, they hear me say all the time, I don't care where you get it from. Just go get it and make sure you get it right. That matters more than, because I can't help everybody anyway, you know what I'm saying? And some things I don't know. And I tell my team all the time, you guys have gifts that I will never, ever be able to just have, like, by default. I will never understand why women who jump rope and have babies have to pee. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Well, I think all women know what you're talking about.
So I
don't know
don't.
why you're talking about it right now.
but no, like, that's what I mean. Is my team knows and can relate and have conversations
Yeah.
and make those people feel so comfortable in the most uncomfortable setting that I have to work to make them comfortable with me. Like, think about how uncomfortable the setting is. We're going to ask you to put on clothes that may not feel comfortable in a space where all these fit people are supposed to be, and you're surrounded by people who are professionals or experts or whatever they are, and they told you they were going to give you this special, and now you're sitting there and you're being fired darts at, or you're being told that the way you're doing things is okay, or like, but who's gonna sit in front of you and listen to you and then tell you the truth about where you are, or wait and tell you what they actually hear? And that's what we try to do. Like, now I heard you say you want to lose 40 pounds. We'll talk about that in a second. Because I heard you tell me all 67 ways you're not going to lose those 40 pounds. So let's talk about what the real issue is. Then you see people, you literally see the truth trying to leave people. Well, my job is to let it. I can't help you unless I can actually help you.
Well, at PE, you're not a one-man show. You
No.
opened up your business.
Absolutely.
You started building a team.
Yes.
What do you think is the most important quality that you try to instill in your team of personal trainers?
Energy, and I'll explain it. And any new instructor, please understand what I mean by this. And Chris, dive in at any point. MSP, dive in with questions, because I think it's important from both spectrums. When I say energy, I mean your stuff outside of your passion for the profession must sit outside the door. It has to. So your gossip, your headache, your spouse, your whatever is not for you to lead with.
Right.
Who cares how you feel unless they ask? Number 2, prepare yourself so you can make a person adjustment, not a personal adjustment.
Explain that.
You may have put together the best workout in the history of the world, and on the way she may have got a call from somebody who she thought loved her, just crushed her. It ain't about you. So when you ask, what's wrong with you? You just made it about you. Hey, are you okay? Do you want to do these things? It looks like the bike might be the best place for you, because I might just need to sit on the bar and listen. I know, because I've had those things happen. And then after that session, people lose 25 pounds after 8 weeks, because now they trust me. They trust that it's safe in there. They won't be judged. I'm not going to tell them what they're doing right, wrong, or indifferent. And I don't know this other person. I just know the hour I had planned for you wouldn't work for you.
What in your life made you go in, especially in this field, without that judgment and without making it personal?
Linda Moore.
Explain who Linda Moore
Linda
is.
Moore is a doctor. She taught at TCU.
Okay.
And Linda Moore did something that most people with professor or teacher or doctor titles, she did something that a lot of them wouldn't do. She listened, and then she asked you a question and forced you to answer it. And not forced you like, are you going to have an answer? It forced you to go, ooh, do I really sound like that? Or do I think I'm more important than what Linda Moore taught me that? Linda Moore taught me that people walk in the door with things that have nothing to do with you.
And that stayed with you this entire
It
time.
lives with me, because I watch it. I watch people. You see that look in their face, and the worst thing you go, what's wrong with you? Whatever it was, I just made it worse.
Yeah, that's true.
So how about I just wait?
So you groom your people with that same personal attitude and
energy. If
That's-
listen, I gotta be honest with the entire crowd. I'm 41 years old, and there's a lot of bills that I miss. I mean, credit card bills. I owe people money and all that. But the one payment I make on time is of attention. I'm paying attention.
I love that.
And you can ask anybody in my office if I'm actually, I may not say a word, but I'm always paying attention.
Right.
Nobody's gonna sneak up. That's why I don't like surprises. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, I'm always paying attention. I heard you say 2 weeks ago that this was going on and you needed this. So in 7 days when I go, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to box. Not do you want to do boxing today? Because then you're anxious and you don't know how to box. And now I'm gonna embarrass you, and I might hit you upside the head. But if I say, I'm gonna teach you how to box today. Huh? Are you gonna hit me? Absolutely. I'm gonna teach you how to box. I'm not gonna use you as a punch bag. Now, you trust me,
Right.
so it don't matter what we do next. It's up to me to put a program together that makes sense for you. So when we say that, you'll see offers from us, Chris. You see large group, small group, and one-on-one. But I need to talk to everybody. I don't need to give you a free class and you be impressed with running around cones. I don't need you to ask me what the price and try to negotiate a price on days you can't miss. I can't help you like that. What are you looking for? We don't do that.
Fitness made personal.
In a manner of the same compounds or chemicals. You know what I'm saying? It ain't magic. It's just magical when you do the trick.
It's magical because it's personal for that particular person.
Because you got to do the trick.
Yeah, and it's not a box that, you can fit in this box, but I'm not a square. I'm a circle.
Because the box is a mirage. Because the trick is inside.
Exactly.
Still got to do the trick.
So let me ask you a question. Gracie and I and Miss P come in. We're talking to you, Greg the trainer, not Greg the owner, not Greg the master.
You're about to hear some funny stuff.
Okay. And hey Greg, we want to get fit. We are all 3 different ages, different body types. I imagine different goals. What's something that you would ask, as an example? I know that you ask a lot of questions.
A whole lot of questions.
But what is something that you would ask to find out something that's individual about us that would, because you are creating magical, personalized programs for individual specific needs.
Yes.
So what is a question that you ask to get deeper in there so that you can design that special program?
This is one of the hardest questions and the most simple questions you ever want to hear. Miss P.
Yes.
Why are you here?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to answer?
No, but that's what I would ask. Miss P, why are you here?
And you
give him an
ask.
example.
No, give him
an example.
Like, I would go, why are you here? And most of what I would hear is,
I want to lose weight, or I want to get fit.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean anything to me, so I know it can't mean anything to you. So let's try again. You chose us. Why are you here today with me?
So this was my reason.
So now I'm about to get the truth.
Okay, yeah, she took a breath.
Yeah.
You see, because she prepared herself to tell the truth. So now my job, you don't have to say it.
Right.
But in that moment.
No, say it.
But what I'm saying is, in that moment, it's not my job to push that out of you. The longer you wait, the longer I'll wait. And then if you go, well, and then I'll go, okay.
Because see, that's when you open up to be vulnerable.
Then I'll go, let me move on. Let's leave that one alone. Okay, so if you're gonna answer it, why are you here?
And see, for me,
Miss P will be working with us next week. By the way.
I am here because there's no judgment. I am here because I feel safe.
Okay.
I'm here because I know I can reach my goals without having to say, oh, he's looking at me at a certain way, or he's making me do something that I really do not enjoy.
Do you guys mind me asking a question while I'm being interviewed?
Well, I was going to ask a question, but go ahead.
Go ahead.
But then I need all you ladies, and then Gracie ask the ladies, and have them be honest, and everybody who can't answer, just so I have an understanding. What are the judgment fears? What are the, not you're afraid of being judged. I go in the gym. That's why I wear pants, because my calf's so small. I'm afraid of being judged. Like, who is this dude with these arms looking like that? And he look like, but his legs same size from the kneecap to the ankle. You know, it makes me nervous. But what are you, shut up, Gracie. What are you afraid, like, what are the judgments that are real? And type it up, Chris. You work with women for a long time. It's not fair to you guys. I'm just trying to understand. And then you ask with them.
No, when I hear you say that, for me, I have not walked into a gym, and I've been all sorts of different sizes and stages of pregnancy. You know what? I was judged one time. I was on the treadmill and I was 9 months pregnant and I was judged. But I've not walked in a gym and felt judged. Have I felt uncomfortable? Yes. The first time I stepped in a weight room and like I'm the only girl in the free weight section, like are these people looking at me? I didn't feel judged, but I felt uncomfortable. So when you say I feel judged, I wonder, and I know people do, I wonder, do you feel judged because someone in the gym actually said something or did something, or a lot of us, wherever we go, into a relationship, into the doctor's office, into the gym, are bringing stuff with us where we might perceive judgment. So mine is, tell us if you've had an experience like that. What happened?
I have had the experience of walking into the gym and a person sized me up as if, why are you here? And this is when I was a lot larger, because I lost 100 pounds.
Congratulations.
Thanks. It took a while.
Yes.
But I was close to 300 pounds. And I walked in and he looked at me as if, why are you here and what do you want to do? And I was still gung ho because I was on that kick. I said, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to get to where I want to be. And then I get there and they said, well, we're going to sign you up, blah, blah, blah. We're all excited. Oh, yeah. And that was my trainer. And his goal was saying, I need to make you into, you need to lose weight to get to 130 pounds. And I'm telling him, I've never been 130 pounds.
I don't want to.
I do not want to be 130 pounds.
Right.
Well, your BMI says you are obese and you are too big to do this and that. And yeah, and I didn't hear it once. I've heard that several times.
By trainers. Can I just apologize?
Man, I'm dying right now.
Yeah, and
we are not supposed to do that.
I
As
have had
professional trainers.
terrible experience. I've had the trainer on the phone. You need 10 more. Give me 10 more. Give me 5 more. I've had the trainers doing that. I've had trainers where they're not paying attention to me. They're looking at the girls next door. And I'm sitting here, well, what about me? Or not, they have no conversation for me at all. It's not personal. It's all about get these reps in and let's go to the next thing. Why are you moving so slow? What's wrong with you? Are you tired? Well, once we get a little of this weight off, you'll be okay. I've had that happen.
That's sad. Greg, let me ask you this. Connecting with Miss P's story, you're hearing that too, and I know it hurts your heart as a trainer, like it hurts my heart, right? Miss P walks into PE, not this
right
hell.
You want to know exactly
level of hell that you went to.
how we treat them?
But how do you want her to feel
Yeah.
when you sit down with her from the moment she walks in the door and talks to you?
What we realize when we talk about meetings all the time is this: they're strange until you make them feel differently. And the way you make people feel differently is that you're inviting. You invite them. Hey, first of all, it's 1:00. What are you doing here at 1:00 in the day? I don't know, but come on in.
Right.
You want some water?
Right.
Let me show you around.
Right.
That's how we start. Who else is with you? Is everybody in the family? Oh, he's coming in the truck. We'll wait. Because that alleviates the extra anxiety because we haven't even started talking about personal things.
Right.
You don't know my name.
Right.
This ain't an interview.
Right.
Listen, this is what we do in this area. And this is what we do in this area for these people. And this is what and wait till you come over here and see how excited we are about this. So now that you've seen the place, have a seat. You sure you don't want no water? Have a seat. We're going to get somebody to rap with you in a second. I personally, people used to try to go in my office, but I didn't like that feeling of you being in trouble. And I mean this, y'all, like that feeling of you being in trouble sitting across from me. Like, I'm not interviewing you.
Right.
So I would say, you sit anywhere you want to. And then I would sit in a proximal space that made sense for you. And then I asked the question, not what are your goals, not, because I'm going to ask you how much you weigh. I'm going to ask you how tall you are. I'm going to ask you all of that other stuff after I get to know your last name.
Right.
How far you live from here.
Not the first thing.
You know, is it, do you got a job in this area?
Right.
Do Tuesdays and Thursdays make sense for you?
Right.
Like, let's find out if we can date.
Right. Right.
You know.
Right.
If we're compatible.
If we,
If it makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay, so now I know I can help you. Why are you here sitting in here with me?
I really like that approach because we
You
were
see what, like,
talking about that a little bit
There's 100
earlier.
places you can be.
Because Miss P, that day that you decided that you were going to walk in the gym, I imagine that morning or that night you said, you know what?
I'm doing this.
I'm doing this.
That's exactly.
This is happening.
And even though as soon as you walked in the door, you got a bad vibe, you didn't turn around because you were like, no excuses.
You know,
And
exactly.
Then they gave you that clipboard said, look around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so even though you weren't feeling it, you did it because you made a promise to yourself. And what I'm encouraging people to do is that yes, get up and say I made that commitment. But when you get personal training,
Ask questions.
you need to find out as a customer
Ask.
if you are compatible with that trainer, because it is a very, if you have the right trainer, it's a very close bond that can change the trajectory of your life. And let me tell you, as a woman, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I stand on this, gentlemen, that when you change a woman's life, health, fitness, education, you change the history of her family tree.
That I agree with that.
And so it is your responsibility, ladies, that when you decide to act, when you have that little bit of inspiration, don't let it pass. You jump on it and act on it, but act on it knowing that you're going to go talk to 2 or 3 people if you have to, until it feels right. Now, if you're lucky, you know a person like Greg, or you've heard of him, or had him referred, or listened to this podcast. So you go right into PE, you don't waste your time with a whole bunch of other like big box places.
Right.
And as soon as you meet him or someone on his team, it feels right. You don't
Right.
need to go anywhere else. But it's gotta feel.
It's gotta be
feel
right.
And you know, I think a lot of people or a lot of women do not even know that you're building that bond with that person.
Well-
They think you're supposed to go in and that's how you're supposed to be treated.
Yeah, like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Well, here's
No.
what I learned. It's so funny you guys say that. Here's what I learned. Women spend more time in collective thought for the betterment of other people that they forget they have to be optimal to be better for other people.
Yeah.
So I get women at the end, like, well, ain't no more rubber on the tires. The oil ain't been changed in
6
7,000 miles. And all they want to believe is that they're not going to die. I promise you won't die. I won't let you die because it costs too much money for you to die.
And also something that you say often, Greg, and if you'll tell the people, not only do you want them to know that they're not going to die, or they're not going to feel like they're going to die, tell us also how you want people to feel when you're training them. Because I know this is important to you.
It's very important. It's funny you say it like that. It's 2 things that's important to me. Concepts. If you feel like you understand how to do something, and I've put enough in you to continue to try these things and be okay with screwing it up without the thought of feeling like a screw up. Like, be okay with taking all of them attempts to learn so we can master that. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how tall you are. What is it that you want? How much time do we have? Not you can and can't do this. This is my goal for you. Listen, you came to see me. Your time is the most important thing. You paid me for your time. In that time, you want a result. Why are you here? What is it that you want? How much time do we have? If I can put a concept of confidence in you based on knowing how to do certain things, it ain't nothing you can't do. And grown-ups celebrate victories way better than kids.
Why is that, you think?
Because they don't have a chance to win as a grown-up.
That's true.
I mean, how many grown-ups really get chances to win after 18 years old?
Yeah.
Everything is you did the job you were supposed to do, or your ass sucks.
Just to give you an example of, grown-ups just celebrating any win when they can, is I sent my husband a text message 2 nights ago that said I just finished building the lamp from Target and I only have 1 screw left over.
That's a win, but you feel
So
like
I
a champion.
celebrated. Because you're right, we don't have much things to celebrate.
Right.
And I was
I mean-
happy, and he wasn't excited. I was like, why? It's a small thing.
Yes.
Shout out! I'm finna tell on myself now. The other day I made some chicken that was better than any other recipe on the planet.
Oh,
Then I
you
backdoored
did.
last night, and the chicken was aight, and I couldn't understand where I went wrong. I'm still upset about that. So in the next couple of days, I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and try to get that victory.
Right.
Why? Ain't about chicken. I don't even like cooking. But that feeling, Listen, ladies, I'm telling you. I'm gonna say this from the bottom of my heart. You're going to just get upset with me if we go over time. This is the real reason why I deal with women and their kids in this space.
That's your specialty.
Yes. Here's why. The woman, without a woman, there is no us. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. That's logic. I mean, I'm not saying all women are great, some are terrible. I'm not saying. I mean, I'm just being honest.
Greg, this is not a relationship
right?
show.
But I'm just being honest. But what I'm saying
talk about
is,
that after.
they're the most important beings on the planet. They really are. And women spend so much time making everybody else the most important being on the planet, and they wonder why they can't function. So in that hour, I literally get to see people be that person that they are trying to be.
Yeah.
And they gave me that chance to help them do it. I have to give them not everything I got, because if you got 5 cents and they need $500, everything I got ain't worth 5 cents. So let's fill up everything I got and put it in the bag and see what they can use. But if I can do that for her, and I live in sports performance, and I see the issues, and I can walk you through all of it, would I be wrong for not at least attempting to give you an opportunity to get an opportunity? Somebody gave me one.
Yes, getting back to your hand up.
Like somebody gave me an
To
opportunity.
whom much is
So when you sit across from me and say, I want to play in college, I stop looking at the parents and go, do you really want to play in
Right.
college? Do you? Because I know this means y'all want to play in college. But because if you really do, I know how. So guess what? That's where we're going. Don't listen to people about your ability or your height or your. Listen, I'll tell you that when we get closer, when it's more honest about whether you got a chance or not. But I know it's divisions, it's hundreds of schools everywhere for you to take that 4 years of tennis, golf, soccer, volleyball, football, and become a better human being. And your mama can keep up with you in these most stressful times, and we just saved her hundreds of thousands of dollars for you to be a better person for everybody else. That's real. That ain't hope. Let's just go down the list of people who've gone to school that their parents couldn't afford it. Let's go down the list of cancer patients who were about to die and decided to take care of their body. Let's really talk about. You're going to have to give us about 10 minutes, man.
Well, no,
I will
let's
take
talk
care
about
of it.
that, and let's talk about that really quick. I'm going to ask you one question, and we'll try to make it a Cliff Notes version.
Okay. I'll do my best, I promise.
Well, 2 questions. We'll go 1 and 2.
Okay.
You specialize in 2 different types of clientels. One, adults, women. And I mean, you do train some guys,
Yeah,
but really
yeah,
adult women.
yeah,
And the second is student athletes.
Correct.
So, 2-part question. 1, will you tell me one Cliff Notes version story where you had an extreme impact on a person's life? Not just lifestyle, but on a person's life, one of your adult clients. And then on part B of that question, on a high school athlete's life.
Well, I'm going to say a name, but she had more of an impact than I think I had on her. Katrina Moore. Katrina Moore might be.
Do I know Katrina Moore?
You know Katrina
Yeah,
Moore.
okay.
Katrina Moore got the biggest, brightest, most beautiful smile you ever got. Katrina Moore, and I don't care if she gets mad about me saying this, Katrina Moore had a stroke, and the smile beat the stroke. That's how beautiful her smile is. So Katrina Moore came out to boot camp about 8 or 9 years ago, and she was giving it everything she had. And I had them running one night, and it was a little bit chilly, and she made that corner. And I looked, and my eyes got big because I heard that hamstring pop.
Ooh.
And I went home, and I was sad for about 4 weeks because I watched all of it leave her. And I got it. I understood it, and I called her, and I checked on her, and she got better. It took her a while to get better. Then Katrina got sick. Katrina got cancer. But all I could think was, cancer can't be a smile like that. So the moment I get a chance to rap with her, then she got to come on in. So she came on after treatment and getting better, and she wanted to spend some time and make her better. And she came in there and she got after it. Taught me a lot about her, taught me a lot about me, and the work that she was willing to put in, and what I had to know to really help her, not gas her up. You know what I'm saying?
Because a person comes with you with some sort of ailment,
Yes,
you have to be
I
educated.
had to know.
Yeah.
So the studying was fun actually, because I could add things to it, and her personality allowed us to keep getting better. So of course, cancer went into remission. She did her thing.
How's Katrina doing today?
Cancer came. I'm getting to you. Cancer came back. You know, and she had to have chemo, and I didn't get a chance to help her physically, but I knew cancer didn't stand a chance. I mean, 6 treatments, cancer was gone, fully gone. She high-fived the cancer right on out the door, choked it out, left it at the door.
Oh,
And
many
now
blessings, Katrina.
her life is so great that all of her adult kids are grown, and that she got a magnificent job offer, and she's about to leave us and go live her life completely sickness-free, and that smile and all 32 brights is still shining. But this is what I learned. I learned that these things happen to people. These things happen to people that you like. And it's not the things that happen to people. Is there anything I did to instill in her that helped her for even 1 second? Because if so, then damn it, I did exactly what I was supposed to do.
I love that. That's good.
Greg Peace, the athlete. Greg Peace, shout out to Greg Peace. He had the hardest road.
This is part 2.
Yes, hardest road I've ever seen any athlete of his caliber, and I say this with confidence.
What age was he when you got him in your studio?
I met Greg Peace when he was a sophomore in high school, and I looked at his dad, shout out to Greg Peace Sr., and his mom, Sherry. I looked out and looked right at his dad and said, that kid is the most pure corner I've ever seen in high school. That's how good he was. But he was even better. He's an even better human being. You hear people say that, you'll never meet a more respectful. You'll never meet a more fly. He dresses better than everybody I ever met. You've never meet anybody that cool with that kind of swag and that kind of work ethic. I watched this kid get mistreated by teams, abused. He told all the things he couldn't do, and he still went about his business. The biggest moment for me is he graduated. Like he went to like 3 different schools. 2 of them literally mistreated him. He took it like a man, most mature thing I've ever seen. It was so mature, I called his dad, Chris, and was like, hey man, you tell Greg he told me a whole lot, because I know you and I would have beat up 17 people on the way, running out the door trying to get away from the police. But he's about to get married on the 27th of this month. He graduated from Texas State early, as a matter of fact, before his eligibility was up. And he's about to get married to an amazing, wonderful, beautiful young lady. And he has a job making more money than me. And he might be 23 years old. Wow. That means more to me than anything we've ever done. Because I drove to San Marcos to watch him walk across that stage, and y'all would have thought that was my nephew or somebody. I'm standing there next to this old white dude, and we making the same. I was like, that's your granddaughter? No, that's so-and-so and so-and-so's granddaughter, but I know him, so we both over there like this, because those 4 years gave him something he wouldn't have got without those 4 years.
Those 4 years under your tutelage?
Of
college.
And I just feel like somewhere in that story, I had something to do. Yeah. In that book, in the chapter in his life, if we're watching that movie, they're going to be like, man, this dude Greg been in more movies than Samuel L. Jackson, even if it's for that long. Because I know that's why I'm here. That's why I tell women all the time, like, if you hear the price, it's going to sound like something you don't want to hear, but what do we want? What are we actually trying? Because we can go get a diamond ring from Zales, or we can go to Walmart and I can give you a Walmart ring, but you'll be back replacing that ring in 3 months. Or I can give you everything I got, and you get everything you want from it.
Yeah, there's certain things you're not going to get with a $10 membership. That's what you're going to get. You slide your card through, go get on a cold, dirty piece of equipment by yourself and do your thing. And if that's what you want, some people want that. I don't want a trainer. I don't want to be bothered. You know, I don't want anybody here. I don't want to shower or whatever the case may be, you know? And then
Can
some
we get 4
people,
minutes? Or is that too much?
some people want help. They want premium help. They want exclusive access. They want you to call them, text them. They want education. They want nutrition.
And my
they want
coaches
you
can
to
do
know that they have cancer and that they have to be treated differently, and the supplements that they have to take are different than the supplements someone would take if they were postpartum
They also
or prenatal.
They also want you to know that they
And you
ain't,
pay for that.
that they ain't handicapped. They ain't they like. I'm going now. Listen, I ain't gonna treat you no different. I'm gonna treat you the way you're supposed to be treated to get you where you want to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But you ain't no baby. We don't. There is no sympathy. I live in a place of empathy, but I don't feel sorry for you. We're in here to get something done, cause sorry kills both of us.
Yeah.
We don't have time to be sorry. We got time to get to a certain spot. Grace, so what's on the line?
It looks a little different today, but you have quite a few comments. So,
Man, I get nervous about comments, Chris. Ain't no telling what they saying about me.
I want to see.
Nika said, Greg is a smart dude, always been able to figure it out. He used to say, I'm going to push you, not until you're uncomfortable. I'm going to push you until what you're doing makes me uncomfortable. He always knew I was stronger than what I thought I was. And then Miss Sherry said, he really is his true authentic self with everyone and empties himself.
I agree.
Paul Robinson.
Not everybody likes
said,
that, Chris.
You are the people's man. And Michelle said that you are always paying attention. And to answer the question about being uncomfortable in the gym, I'm here because I'm lost, I need guidance, and I need someone to hold me accountable.
Oh yeah, we can do all that. That's easy. I'm like the gnat at the barbecue, and you don't get away until the barbecue is gone. It's the way it is. You ask for something, let's go get that, but make sure you want what you ask for. You know, take all you eat all you take.
Greg, I was just looking at some of the comments on here. It's quite a few TCU fans.
Shout out to all them frogs. They might have something fly to say.
So, Greg, parting notes for people, the people that are listening, the moms and the dads of student athletes, the women that are trying to lose 20 pounds postpartum of the baby they had 16 years ago.
Yeah. Well, the first.
What do you want to say? What do you want to say to the people? Parting notes.
This is the truth. We can help you, and I mean really help you, and we can help you well beyond 6 weeks, 20 pounds, high fives, and then 3 months later you're concerned about that. We jumping off, brother. We can actually help you. Gracie, leave on the line the website with. We can help you transform in the direction you want to go. We just want to know. We just want to know. We really want to know what it is you want, and you're going to get everything you can from us. Now, when it comes to athletes, we're really good at what we do. Like we're one of the best at what we do, and we have receipts to prove it. So we just ask that if you believe it, if you don't believe it, if you're trying to get a faster time, if you're trying to get a scholarship, just give us a chance. It's more than 100 kids in 10 years, and I've had a lot of help with a lot of amazing coaches do that. More than 67 kids in 6 years, multiple divisions. Look, we do this not because it sounds cool, not because ladder drills are cool. We do this because somebody gave us a chance. I mean that. So let us give you a chance.
Greg, I love everything that you're saying. I am so happy that I got to know a little bit more about your passion, what drives you. That helps me understand why you're so good at what you do, why you get such amazing results out of people. because you're truly passionate, and now understanding this backstory, you feel like you have a responsibility
do.
to give back all that you have given. And I want to tell the people that are listening, people that are considering calling Greg, calling Performance Experience, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose by
Couple of
making
pounds.
that phone call,
Little
and
bit of lack of
everything to
confidence.
gain for
Yep.
yourself, for your child.
Yep.
So just give them a call, and come feel that energy that I was telling you about. Come feel it for yourself. I know you think that we're joking when I tell you about his energy, but come feel that for yourself. You have nothing to lose by just coming to have a talk and seeing what Performance Experience can do for you or your student athlete. Thank you so much, Greg.
Man, I appreciate it more than you know. It's been fun. It's been good. It's been good. Just come find out. I mean, you'll leave. At the least, you'll know what you need to do to fix it. At the most, we'll be fixing it for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
Fix it.
Kenny, we only 9 minutes over time.
Thank you, everybody.